Hello students, in this video we'll discuss one more poem by Kamla Das, that is A Hot Noon in Malabar. As I told you in my previous video that Kamla Das is significant uh, for certain important characteristics like confessionalism, um, nostalgic treatment of the subjects, and theme of love, lust, and all that. Now, the previous poem which I discussed with you, that was My Grandmother's House. In that particular poem, as I told you that she discusses the theme of nostalgia, theme of homesickness. Now, here in this poem, Hot Noon in Malabar, the same theme continues. That is the theme of nostalgia and theme of homesickness. This poem is taken from her collection of poems called Summer in Calcutta, which was published in 1965. Now, this deals with her happy childhood spent in her grandmother's house in Malabar. The poem is full of pathos, which shows Kamla Das's loss of happy and peaceful days of childhood, which she spent in the affectionate and caring company of her grandmother. The action of the poem oscillates between memory and desire, and between nostalgia and separation. The poetess in this poem pines for the hot noon in Malabar, which was full of life as compared to the torturing experience of a noon in a city where she is staying after her marriage. Now, the poem shows the deep rooted involvement of the poetess in the past. As in the case of My Grandmother's House, this is typical personal poem, autobiographical poem, and which shows her deep love for her parental place. And the description is very movingly described by the poetess. She draws a parallel between her ancestral place at Malabar and the city life where she is staying at present. The contrast between past and present has been described. The word torture is used in the text, that the present life is torture in the city, and while staying in Malabar was a golden period for her life. So let us now start the poem. I hope all of you are having the text in your hand. So just look at the text, Hot Noon in Malabar. Now, the poem begins like this: is a noon for beggars with winning voices. Now, when you read the poem, you'll find out that the mood of the poet is reminiscent mood, where she's trying to recall the memories from the past and putting a contrast between past and present. This is a noon for beggars with winning voices. Now, recalling the memory of Hot Noon in Malabar, where beggars, the voices of the beggars could be heard. What kind of voices? Winning voices. What is this winning? That is jarring, disturbing, complaining, voices. That Hot Noon in Malabar, where the beggars were coming and making different kinds of, noises. A noon for men who come from hills with parrots in a cage and fortune cards all stained with time. Now, fortune cards means fortune telling cards, those cards which are telling the fortune. And stained with time means soiled, became dirty, because of a frequent, handling of those cards. Now, if you look at this, if you go to your village, you'll find out we have some, people who come along with the parrots in the cage and the fortune cards, and they tell the fortune of the people. So she's remembering those people having the cage where the parrots were there and the fortune cards over there. uh, for brown Korawa girls with old eyes who read palms in light sing song voices. Uh, Sing song means in a rising and falling tone, and in a monotonous manner. Is the meaning of sing song, in a rising and falling tone and in a monotonous manner. And who are the Korawa girls here? The reference is there. Girls of the class of basket makers in Malabar. So, and these, girls are supposed to be readers of the, palms. So, with the picture of the Korawa girls who read palms in light sing-song voices. For bangle sellers who spread on the cool black floor those red and green and blue bangles. Then the picture of the bangle seller who used to spread on the cool black floor multicolored, bangles, red, green, and blue bangles, all covered with the dust of, roads. So these all covered with dust of roads on that cool black, floor. Now, for all of them whose feet devouring rough miles. What this devouring rough miles is traveling on rough roads over long distances. Is the meaning of devouring rough miles, traveling on rough roads over long distances. Grow means develop. Crack on the heels, since they have covered a long distance, and that is why they developed cracks on the heels. Now, so that when they clambered up our porch, clambered means climb with some difficulty, using both hands and feet. This is clambered. So when they were coming to our porch, this, there was a kind of noise which was coming, and the noise was grating, harsh, that annoying, irritating. The cracks which are there in the heels, they were creating a sound, and that was very, irritating, very, annoying. Now, this is a noon for strangers who part the window drapes. Window drapes means curtains on the windows. Now, again, the noon for the strangers who part the window drapes and peer in. Peer in means peep through. Strangers who are coming towards just near our houses and peeping through the windows. Their hot eyes brimming with the sun. Their hot eyes brimming with the sun means their eyes dazzle and burn with the heat of the sun. It was extremely, hot. Not seeing a thing in the shadowy room. They were not able to see anything inside. Maybe it was extremely hot, and that is why they were looking for the water, and they were peeping inside, but not finding anybody inside, because the room was shadowy, and turn away and look so yearningly at the brick-ledged well. This yearningly means longingly, and a brick-ledged well, good phrase is this: a well lined with brick. So they did not get the water from the houses, so they longingly looked towards the well. This is noon for strangers with mistrust in their eyes. Now, mistrust is, lacking confidence. There's a noon for strangers with mistrust in their eyes, dark, silent ones who rarely speak at all, that when they speak, their voices run wild like jungle voices. Now, their eyes are dark and lack confidence. They never speak a word. And if at all they do, they fumble for words and come out with very incoherent speech. Now, their voices run wild like jungle voices. Yes, this is noon for wild men, wild thoughts, wild love. Now, this is noon for pure thoughts and pure love. I mean, she becomes very much nostalgic, longing and pining for that place. To be here far away is a torture. Now, come to the crux of the poem. You read Background Casually by Nissim Ezekiel. I mean, he describes each and everything, but in the concluding part of the poem, he says, "My background place is where I am." That, that the single line contains the entire idea of the poem. Now, here, when she says, "To be here far away is a torture." I mean, staying here far away from that particular place, Malabar, is torture, is a tormenting, is suffering for me. Wild feet is stirring up the dust, stirring up, raising. Uh, this hot noon at my home in Malabar, and I so far away. Again, when she says in the end of the poem, "I so far away," when I'm at the distant place, but I can only recall, the memory of Malabar, nothing else. So in the entire poem, the poetess is making a contrast not only of the two places, but also the two kinds of existence. She draws a parallel between past and present, two kinds of existence. One in profusion of love, and the other without it. Past full of love, present without love. In Malabar, she received uncontrolled and primitive affection, and that is why and this kind of love actually she's missing here in city. The poem actually, as I told you in the beginning, it's very much personal, it's autobiographical, but the personal elements are given the universal significance. The ideas are universalized. Uh, the pain felt by Kamla Das is symbolic of human pain and sorrow felt by those who live far away from their homes. And it sometimes happens that those students who leave their houses and come to the universities stay in hostel or at some PGs. So I think you recall the memory of your village, of your place, that how good those days were. And here, staying is quite torture for it. Sometimes happens. So so the personal experiences are very much universalized in this poem. Thank you very much.